when I started in San Diego, I was doing 2 different circuits. I had the black circuit, and then I had the mainstream circuit. The mainstream was Bobby Lee, Darren Carter. I remember Bobby Lee.
The party starter.
Yeah, me and Bobby Lee used to sit at Denny's, and he'd always have the notebook, and he's writing.
I don't believe that.
And then,
I don't believe that.
But then, he was the first one out of the open mic crew at the Comedy Store that got the break, so to speak. Yeah. Paulie Shore came down. His mom was with him, Mitzi, and all of a sudden Bobby went to Vegas with Paulie. Yeah. He came back down, and we're waiting. Like, what's it like? What's it like? And then Bobby he tells this whole fucking lie I found out 20 years later. He goes, oh my God, dude. I was with Paulie, and then afterwards, Missy said she's gonna make me a paid regular at the Comedy Store. He goes, and then I met these 2 girls, and we went back to my room, and they handcuffed me to my bed, and they robbed me. I go, what? So he said they tied him up, and he was naked, and the clean ladies had to let him go. The clean ladies came in the next day and got him. I believe this story for 20 years. Then I went on a Tiger Belly, and he told me it was a lie. I go, you motherfucker. No, he had us at Denny's. Like, I put the Grand Slam down, bro. So the girls, they just fuck you like that? They just fucking like that. That's what I was thinking. Like, oh my God, I gotta get on the road. And then, but on the black side, it was Nick Cannon. He was doing all the rooms because Nick was in a rap group called the Bomb Squad.
Okay.
And so I didn't.
That describes his comedy career perfectly.
Jesus Christ. That's so wrong.
Damn.
That's so wrong. I didn't want to say it. I'm glad you did.
He's a good guy. He's a good guy.
He's a good guy. He's put a lot of people on.
He has. I was all wilding out. That's why we would make these jokes. He wouldn't care. That's why I feel okay doing it.
Good.
We need to turn off the AC or something. It's freezing here. Go on.
So cold, dude. So Nick was in a rap group, and I remember Magic Johnson had the talk show called The Magic Hour.
Yes.
And the Magic's people saw me at the Comedy Store one night, and he went back to Magic and said, I just saw the funniest white guy on the planet.
Magic Johnson said that.
No, his guy said that. So
Okay.
Magic came to see me the next week. Fat Tuesday, people don't realize, Fat Tuesday put so many people on back in the day, Tuesday night, Guy Tori spot. People were getting discovered out of that place.
I bombed my dick off in that room, dog.
Did you?
Holy.
Wait, what happened?
I used to love that room.
Oh, dog, this happened to me so many times early on. I'm like halfway through bombing, and then one guy just comes up there, runs the show, walks on stage, he just goes, give me the mic. And I was like, wait, okay.
That's why I got more shit out of that.
In LA. It was
What club?
It was Comedy Store.
The main he had it was the
called
Black
Fat
Night.
Tuesday? I thought it was tripping on Tuesdays.
So it was tripping on Tuesday when I did it.
They changed it.
And then it went back to Fat Tuesday.
Originally, it was Fat Tuesdays.
Got it.
That's where Jamie Foxx saw me and got me an audition for Held Up. Oh, wow. I was there, and Aries might say that didn't happen. I was there. I saw the set that got Aries Mad TV because they were there. The Fox people was there.
Oh, wow.
The execs.
Yeah.
So I saw Leslie Jones go up when Chris Rock saw her. And ripped that night. I was like, you look back, you're like, I was there for some historical moment.
The set that Aries gets Mad TV.
Yeah.
I remember
the joke that killed it. He had a Michael Jackson joke where he was in a wheelchair. And he said, what if, Michael Jackson's in a wheelchair, and he does the whole, he imitates him so good, and he'd be like, and then he flips over, act like he turned the chair this way and this way, but he's still performing. I'm fucking up the joke.
Sure.
But that's the joke that he closed with every night. Every time he did a show, he was going to close with that. And it killed.
He's wildly talented. Aries is wildly talented.
His imitation's unreal.
Unbelievable.
Yeah.
So Nick, I'm at my apartment, and I'm dubbing VHS tapes, to try to give the Magic's people, because I got nothing. I don't have any clips. I'm not on TV yet.
Yeah.
So it's like bad audio, bad video, and I'm trying to clip this 5-minute set to give the Magic's people. Yeah. And Nick shows up with his manager at the time. His name was Samir Toma. I remember Sam. And then Nick goes, "What are you doing?" I go, "Magic Johnson saw me, bro." I said, I might get it on his talk show, and I'm all fired up. And Nick goes, "Man, I should do stand-up." And I go, "You should. Yeah, you should." And then the next week, we had this place called Mr. O's on Wednesday night. It was a big urban black comedy night. And Nick went up there and did nothing but comic view jokes. And I go, "Nick, you can't do that. That's somebody else's joke. He goes, yeah, I saw it last night. It was funny. No. He just didn't know. It wasn't like he was out and out stealing. He did not know. I said, no, you got to do your own jokes.
Yeah.
And then less than a year later, we went up to Oakland for the Bay Area Black Comedy Competition. And Nick had like a solid 6, and that's all you got. And he was clean. He was young, good-looking dude. And that's when the all that people saw him. And he either got the semifinals or the finals. And then, he kind of doing the warm-up.
This is a time before the internet. Like now the internet is used to like search for talent, right? Like you almost kind of wait for a comic to prove themselves on the internet. Yeah. But before you had to see somebody live. So there was all this tension when like somebody special was in the room because your whole career could change in 7 minutes.
Yeah. At the mercy of somebody else. Like,
simple as that.
Somebody likes you and like, I'm going to go with him.
But so the anxiety, just imagine that. Like it's already nerve-wracking, I'm sure, when you go up at like a big club on a big night when there's a full crowd. You want to do well. But imagine you go up and you know that Damon Wayans is or Keenan Ivory's in the audience. You're like, that's it. My career is dead. I'm in movies now. I'm in TV shows. They'll develop something around me.
Yeah, it's crazy how it happens. I had a TV deal with Quincy Jones, and it was like the best 6 months of just sitting back, listening to like an historian tell stories about Frank Sinatra.
Yeah.
Wow.
Orson Welles. Billie Holiday. He was there.
Yeah.
And he's not lying.
Yeah.
And we had a TV show that didn't go anywhere. It didn't go, oh my God. I remember we went in the ABC office and we're waiting in the lobby to go in and pitch this TV show. And Quincy starts talking about strip clubs in France. And that was the conversation. He goes, yeah. And then usually when they say, all right, you guys want to come back? Usually most people stop the conversation and now we're in the pitch a TV show mode. No. Quincy's still telling me the story as we walk into the room. Both execs at ABC are gay as shit. And I'm going, and then Quincy literally, he's ignoring them. He goes, yeah, sorry. The friends, it's different. They like the jazz. The girls strip the jazz. And then he goes, they're in the strip clubs in France. And they were like, no.
Oh, I love this.
And then they was like, I love this. We're not getting this show. We pitched that show to this nothing. Usually when execs say no, it's a day or so. Yeah. I wasn't at my car.
They're like, we're
my manager already calling, they're passed. And I go, big shock. That means we left and they go, we're done. I knew it was over with the minute he said, you ever been to a strip club in France?
What year is this?
2000.
2000, so you're
what about like horror gigs? Because you got success quite early. Mm-hmm. Did you ever go through that stretch where you're doing the $1,500 weekends?
Oh, yeah. First road gig I ever got was a comic strip in El Paso. And they paid me $500 and I had to get there. And it was like Wednesday through Sunday.
Yeah.
So I was in the Navy. So I drove from San Diego to El Paso.
Wow.
And it was the easiest drive ever because I was like, oh shit. Because this the time you had to mail your headshot in, send a VHS tape, fax over a fake resume that I made up. Yeah. I had nothing. I remember I said I opened up for Jim Carrey for a cancer benefit. Complete lie. Everything was a lie, dude. I was like, you know what I mean? And then, so I get to El Paso and it said they got a comic condo thing where all 3 comics are in the same thing. I took the big bedroom not knowing the headliner's coming. Dude, that headliner showed me, goes, bruh. Get out. I was like, oh shit, sorry. So I go in the other room. I didn't have a lot of money. So this is how I survived. I went to the grocery store. I got Cocoa Puffs and a gallon of milk. That's breakfast for the week. Arby's had the $2 beef and cheddars. So that was lunch. And then you eat at the comedy club and you bring it back for your late night food. I was like, dude, I was $20 in food. Yeah. I came back to the good. I remember thinking, oh my God, how do these comedy clubs make money? I remember when my first comedy club headline gig after Comic View, I remember I went in my agent's office. He goes, yeah, we got something club in Dayton. They're paying you $4,000. I go, holy shit, man. I was like, this club might shut down. How do you pay me that?
Going out of business there. That's crazy.
Like, there was 4-4. It was $4,000 and $400 for travel. I was like, what?
Yeah.
$4 for a flight?
Yeah.
Holy shit, bro. I remember walking out
What
there.
about any guys that you opened for that, like, to this day, you're like, I've never seen anybody kill like that? Or any guy you've been on the road? And they don't have to be big famous guys. They can be, but like...
The guy, when I first started in LA and was open micing, was Pablo Francisco.
Just destroy.
Nobody wanted to follow that dude.
Yeah.
I'd seen him do the Latino night, the white night, the black night, and he was the only guy that killed in all of them.
Impressions, right?
Well, he had the movie voice,
he could
right?
do
the movie voice, the Arnold Schwarzenegger at the time, where he was like little tortilla boy.
Yeah,
and it was the same bit
every single time.
I still waited to see it.
Yeah.
It was like, oh my God.
Impressions have that longevity. It's like in a way, it's almost like you're watching magic, right? Because it's like, and that is sometimes the downfall is like, if you're really good at impressions, like you don't actually have a joke. We're kind of just laughing because you're like, oh yeah, you sound like that famous guy, or you look like that. But the guys that can do it with a joke,
that's what made Eddie so impressive. He could do everything.
Eddie could write the bit that even if he didn't do the impression, you'd still laugh at.
Yeah,
and
Eddie's what's so amazing about Eddie. He was like 21.
He was a kid, dude. He was a kid.
Yeah,
and in the one special, we ended with the burger. The burger joke, like how his mom made the burger with the peppers in it. I go, that's your closer?
Yeah.
Look back on that, you're like, usually the closer is like kind of raw, rugged, something.
No, it's just
my mom's putting peppers in a burger. I'm like, what the fuck was that? That'd have been my first joke.
Yeah. Okay, so you're going through this, you're getting success, you're starting to make some money, and then you're headlining on your own. You're not really opening for other guys? Like, it was pretty quick ascension?
Yeah, I didn't headline. I didn't have the traditional feature for people because I was in the Navy when I started. I was on BET and in the Navy at the same time.
Wow.
So how it happened was I was starting to do stand-up. I knew that's what I wanted to do. I was going up like 6 days a week. Anywhere that, I mean, there was a karaoke night at a place called El Torito. I would go up and not sing. I do jokes. It got to the point where people knew to get quiet when I walked up because they go, oh, this is the funny dude. He about to tell some jokes.
No way.
The first couple weeks, it was rough because they weren't paying attention, but I just wanted to get on stage and I didn't know where to go. So I go, wait, if they got a microphone, they got a little stage, I'll just start telling jokes. And then it got to the point where literally the host of the karaoke go, all right, y'all, you know he's here. It was like that type of vibe. And then karaoke's very the same people every week.
Yeah.
So it really helped me because I had to kind of do new shit every week too.
Of course.
So it was kind of a dope thing. But I'm driving in my truck and they say, we're looking for the funniest black comedian in San Diego. So I called in and I didn't say I was black or I wasn't black. I put a little bass in my voice. Hey, what's up? This the contest? Yeah, I want to enter that shit. And then they was like, what's your name, Gary? So I entered and I won. And then that's actually where I met Nick because he rapped. He rapped on the show.
Yeah.
His manager got him on there. And that first place got you an audition for Comic View.
Got it.
So I auditioned for Comic View. I got on. I'm still in the Navy. So they used to film the whole season in a week. It was Monday through Friday. They either did 3 or 5 episodes a day. So, and it was a contest. You just kept moving on. So I just kept moving on every day. I took a week's leave. I won my rounds. So I got an hour special. So I had been on stand-up less than a year. And I had this hour special. Wow. And I wish they would replay it because I know it's got to be brutal because you only had to do 44 minutes with commercials. Yeah. And it was so slow and paced because I didn't have 44.
You got 24 minutes.
Motherfucker, I waited until every last and then I started it had to be silent. I was so paced, that clock just was moving so slow. I was like, holy shit, I got 2 jokes left. We're at 28. So they called me. They called me like 6 months later, and Curtis Gatson was the head of BET at the time. He's like, Curtis Gatson wants to meet with you. I drive back up to LA, and he goes, yeah, we want to make you the host. And I went, what? So they want me to make me the host of Comic View. I'm still in the Navy.
Wow.
So BET doesn't know I'm in the Navy. Obviously, the Navy doesn't know I'm doing stand-up, but it was the funniest thing because I don't have cable. And so I don't know I'm airing. So I'm on the base, waving cars on the base, and a brother would be like, motherfucker, was you on TV last night? Yeah, have a good day, man. All right. So I'm like, wait a minute, am I on fucking TV? And then I would go out to Burger King or something, and so I'd be like, was you on TV? I had no idea I was airing. Wow. And I kept getting stopped. I was like, why are you motherfuckers stopping me?
What was it like back in the day when there were fewer channels and you had something pop on TV.
Dude, you make me sound ancient as fuck right now.
No, I'm not trying to make you sound old because I remember like Geico days when there were just fewer things to watch.
Yeah.
So when people were watching a show, you felt it on the street.
Yeah, for real.
Like I remember just walking around certain areas, especially like tourist areas in New York City. If you're in Times Square, it was like, it felt like every person within an age demographic had watched the show.
Yeah.
With the internet now, it's different. Like with the internet, there's little echo chambers. So you'll be walking down the street, somebody recognizes you, somebody's like, I don't even know who the fuck that is. It's divided. But back in the day, it was like, if you watched comedy and you watched BET, you watched Comic View.
Yeah.
So you didn't miss it.
Yeah.
So you would instantly feel it.
Yeah.
Does that make sense?
Yeah. I went from like never be on the road to being asked the headline immediately. So I didn't have the grind of featuring for somebody.
Yeah.
Like I was kind of just thrust into it.
That was kind of similar to my journey. Like I didn't have a long time where I was going and featuring for people. Like
I didn't. I mean, that's the beauty of stand-up. You ask 100 comics, they're gonna give you 100 different stories.
Yeah.
You know, I just I had to get out of the Navy.
I
couldn't go on the road.
Did any of them know? Like any of your close Navy friends know that you were doing stand-up like on the side?
Yeah, I mean that's how I got to do all the quote unquote black rooms. I'd be telling people like on the base, like I'm gonna do stand-up, and the black guys would be like, you can go here. Or you can go here. A lot of white comics didn't want to go there because it wasn't a bad area. But I was like, I just want to tell jokes.
Did it cause any tension once it premiered and once it aired and everyone knew?
BET?
Like with the Navy, like were they like
with your superiors or whatever?
You can't be doing TV.
Dude, good thing I had black chiefs, black bosses that were watching it. Oh, these motherfuckers looked out.
They loved it.
Yo, when I tell you the last 3 months, I wasn't showing up for work. All they said was, you show up Monday morning.
Yeah.
Don't get nothing pierced. Keep your hair cut. And we're gonna. What they did is they put me on a part of the base where I was supposed to be like grading papers. Basically, it was a guy they were running. I don't know. It was some guys that weren't. I was a cop in the Navy, right?
Yeah.
So it was like guys that were trying to be temporary police officers for their command.
Cop.
Oh yeah. No, Andrew, I let everybody go. I was the best cop. Dude, when I say let everybody go, everybody go.
That's why we lost the war on terror.
Yeah. I would have been the peacemaker there. But they had me like in some part of the base that I only had to report to this one old dude, and he knew what the deal was. So I'd see him Monday morning, I'd check in, and he'd be like, I'm out. And that was the last 3 months.
Wow.
And then I remember the paperwork came in like, you're out.
Yeah. This is a good cause. But the government subsidized a good one. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, I'm down with that.
But then the paperwork came in that kind of hurt a little bit because I was still getting paid. So then the paperwork came in like, yeah, you're out. I go, fuck.
Like you got dishonorably discharged?
Not dishonorably, I was honorable.
Okay. That's
it was just my time. Yeah. And then I was like, fuck. I remember it was in January. And I was like, damn, I ain't got that check coming in every 2 weeks.
Yeah.
So now I'm in LA trying to make it. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, but I wasn't broke or anything. That's why I don't have I didn't know where my next meal was coming from.
Yeah.
I went to LA even. I wasn't in the hole.
Right.
And I didn't have any money. So when you're single with no kids, you don't need a lot.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Even my first roommate in LA, he we had no living room furniture. So if you was to break into our apartment, you'd have been like, nobody lives here. I had my bedroom. He had his bedroom. I ain't buying a couch for you. I'm buying a TV for you.
Yeah.
And then I end up
living like OnlyFans girls.
Oh, yeah.